What's really good, bozos, bullies, brothers, babies, backbreakers? Luke?
Bolo tie enthusiasts.
Wow. Shout out the bolos.
I do like the bolo.
Yeah, bolo's a good look. We are the Broadcast Boys. Welcome back to another episode of the Broadcast Boys show. Today we got a good one for you. Terrence Ross, the Human Torch, NBA icon. He is here. He's going to answer some questions. He's going to talk to us a little bit about what's like being an NBA player, what it was like playing in college at UW. Should be good.
One question is, who the hell approved this Human Torch nickname?
No idea.
Have you ever heard that before?
I mean, it's a very famous Fantastic Four.
No, for him.
Oh, for him? No, I've never heard it.
Not until today.
No. But I kind of like it for him, though. He gets hot quick.
He definitely can get
Johnny
hot.
Storm.
He has a good career highlight tape.
Yeah, he really does. He's a really good player, and we're going to find out today. He's a free agent. We're going to find out today if this brother players aren't even playing in the NBA anymore.
Really good player, but an even better dude, and that is what we look for in our superstar athletes to be role models.
That's right. Is he better than Richard Jefferson? Maybe. We'll find out.
Few are.
Let's get into it.
An NBA sharpshooter, streamer, 2K specialist, and the undisputed star of the Suns super team. A 3-and-D savant that started in the 6 and made the league his bitch. A brother who once scored a 50-piece just because he felt like it and immediately went back to averaging 10. A true inspiration is in the building. Let's welcome to the podcast the Human Torch and potential Serbian resident, Terrence Ross!
Yes, sir.
What's good, fellas?
T-Ross, welcome to the show, man. It's a pleasure to have you.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Of course, man. Now, we're happy to have you here, and I'm going to run this back. I just said this to you off camera, but I want to say it again, how much we appreciate you following us and rocking with our content, even though we're a couple unathletic bozos talking shit about world-class athletes. I'm glad that you put up with us.
For sure, bro. Since day one. Always followed you guys. You guys are hilarious. Always hit the nail on the hammer. So, I mean, it's perfect, bro.
We have a lot of fun with it, man. Like, clearly NBA is what we mainly talk about, and y'all out there playing your hearts out, and it's easy for us to do what we do, but we salute you for what you do, bro.
So you've had an illustrious NBA career so far. When you first got to Toronto, I'm wondering, was Drake as prolific as a jersey chaser as he is now? What is your relationship like with him? What was basketball like in Canada compared to what it is today?
Now, when I got to Toronto, Drake had just started to, like, enter that superstardom. I think Thank Me Later had just dropped and kind of went fucking huge. So he started to become like a fucking icon. That's the only person I listened to, like, all in college. So when I got to Toronto, I knew he was from there. I didn't really have any interactions with him until, like, the dunk contest. And then, yeah, exactly. So you get it. The dunk contest happened, man, and I was nervous as hell. But he showed a lot of love that day, bro. And it was super dope. Somebody, we all admire, super dope guy. So to get to hang out with him, like, because I won the dunk contest. Going into it, I was like, I just wanted to go into it. I didn't think I was actually going to come out and win it. So when I won it, it was crazy, bro. I'll never forget. I getting back to my room with the trophy, and Drake texted me and was like, yo, this is Drake. Like, what we doing tonight? I'm just like, I'm like, somebody pranking me. Somebody pranking me for sure. And it was cool because I was talking to him, during the whole festivities and stuff. But when I left. I thought the night was over. So he hit me up, was like, yo, it's like, we going out tonight. And I'm thinking it's just like, gonna be a couple people. We're going to do something chill. Bro, I pull up to this dude. He's having a whole concert with him and 2 Chainz. And I'm standing behind 2 Chainz as they're performing at some club on the balcony. And they're just handing me, like, Ace of Spades bottles and stuff. So I was just like, bro. And after that, like, I've always been cool with him. I say what's up to him every time I'm around. And he's been real chill. So, like, he definitely shows love.
Wait, it's funny to me because if I recall correctly, you said you never spoke to him really before. Was he not sitting with you on those little-ass benches at the dunk contest?
So, look, he was. So, I didn't know, bro. So, when I got to the dunk contest, it was crazy because we're warming up, and it's right before we go live. And so, that's when, like, all the celebrities start filling into the seats. Everybody from Kevin Hart to Drake was there. So, I'm not knowing who's going to be there. I'm not even thinking Drake was going to pull up. So, when I saw him sitting courtside, like, I was like, oh, damn. It's like, now I got, like, Mr. Toronto giving me pressure, sitting courtside. So I was like, okay, I got to make sure I go out here and do it. Like, I was nervous for a little bit. I missed my first dunk like 5-6 times. But after that, like, it was smooth coasting. So, it was definitely a crazy time.
Nah, it's just funny because he, like, reps Toronto so hard. And then you was out there representing Toronto. So he had to make sure that it looked like y'all was brothers. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. We took flicks. And then even the next year when I did the dunk contest, I was like, yo, like, come out here and do, something with me. And I think he threw me like a lob and something I just went through the legs. And
Yeah.
it was cool. So I had a relationship with him after that. So it was definitely a cool moment.
Yeah, he seems like a really cool dude, like easy to hang out with.
What do you think of his game, though? He plays like a 50-year-old to me.
For sure. I be seeing the league he has at his house, and I'm just like, dog. I was like, I know I'm not gonna, try to stop the dude whose house I'm at. Like, if I foul him or do anything, I'm getting kicked out of this place. So I know he's probably lording over everybody on the court, doing anything he wants to, and then. Shout out to him. They won it.
They won it
Bro,
back to back
That's
to back
supposed to.
years.
They won it. Yeah.
I say all the time he has people on payroll to play like very loose D on him. You know what I mean? Just to like let him get his shots off. I also thought it was hilarious. He had media and like step and repeats. Like he had one of these in his gym to like take flicks in front of his shit.
He is media. Did he not tell you that?
They had
unbelievable.
confetti, champagne, trophies, everything.
It must be nice to just be fucking like ridiculously rich and pretend to be an athlete for a night. It's cool.
Yeah, he's on a different level.
Yeah, for sure. But let me tell you, because I know somebody asked you before about your welcome to the NBA moment, and you said that it was DeMar DeRozan. So I just want you to talk a little bit more about like, what it was like being his teammate for a little while that y'all was his teammate, and also like what his footwork is like in person, because it looks crazy on TV.
Debo's always been cool, bro. Ever since I got drafted, I was living in Santa Monica during the pre-draft, so I got drafted. I had to go back to Santa Monica for a couple weeks before I went out to Toronto. And when I got back there, bro, he was the first person that hit me up. He was like, yo, we're working out this day. This is what we're doing. This is a routine. And from there on, he kind of like took me under his wing. And, just to kind of see his work ethic up close and seeing kind of like his mindset is crazy, bro. Like he's really, to me, he's like one of the all-time best mid-range scorers like the league has ever seen.
Do you think he's underrated?
Yeah. I think he's
I agree.
underrated. Because of what he's been doing for so long, it's kind of like people got so used to it that they kind of forget and don't understand the gravity of what he's doing. But like, man, his footwork and his mid range game is second to none. He can get 50 off of twos, free throws, and just dunking on you. So it's like anytime you have a guy that can do that, and it's not like everybody knows he's going for the mid range and his face up game is crazy. So people are scouting against that. For him to continually go out there and just dominate, like it's definitely not talked about enough.
It's crazy. It's like 10 plus years in a row, like 22, 23 points a game plus. Like he's just really out there killing. And he's doing it in Chicago now too, and I'm wishing him nothing but the best.
He was so nice he got little Romeo a basketball scholarship. USC. I forgot about that too.
Bro. No, bro. I know they're boys to this day.
Yeah.
No, for sure. I'll never forget. He put Romeo on for sure.
Now, DeMar's obviously a tough guard. I'm wondering who else, when you got into the league, that people like us who don't really know shit may think is pedestrian, but is an incredibly tough guard.
I think underrated, again, is Jimmy Butler. I'll never forget. It was one game. We're playing him in Toronto, and he was in Chicago. He had a slow first half. I think he might have scored like 2 points or something. Second half, he ended up with like 48, almost 50. And everybody took a crack at him. Everybody tried to match up with him. Me, DeMar Carroll, Kyle Lowry, like everybody had their shot, and for whatever reason, he just turned into Michael Jordan. Jimmy is definitely, he just has a lot of dog in him, and to me, like if you have a lot of that, it doesn't matter how talented you are. You could take over whenever. And I think that's why Miami's had that same type of success they've had. Like it's not a coincidence that they went to the finals twice off of Jimmy Butler just being a dog. So I think, to me, sometimes he's one of the toughest guards. But there's so many guys, bro. It's an NBA. Take your pick. Like there's no easy guards. Like you can get busted by freaking Matthew Dellavedova if you're not paying attention. So like you just gotta stay on your toes, bro.
Even Andrea Bargnani?
Oh, definitely, Andrea. I just seen Andrea put up 21 points in the first quarter and just not want to play for the rest of the day. That's it. Just walked away. It was like, and I'm done.
We might have gotten the worst version of Andrea Bargnani when the Knicks acquired him. I saw this dude try to fly and dislocate his elbow.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, Andrea. It's crazy. I'm cool with him. Like, not too many people were cool with Andrea, but for whatever reason, he was cool with me. But yeah, I've seen him first-handed a bunch of times just tear people up. Can't nobody, like he was before his time too. So
100%.
I don't know, but he definitely had game.
Yeah, nah. It's interesting to me because it's funny that you say Jimmy Butler because a lot of people, like a lot of the knock on him sometimes is that he doesn't really have a bag. He just plays hard. You know what I mean? But like that matters. You know, like someone like Russell Westbrook, yeah, they say he can't shoot, but he's playing harder than you every single time, which makes him so successful, which makes him so hard to guard. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
That's at
Absolutely.
least that's what I see from where I'm at. But, you know, if you had spent the same amount of hours you trained playing basketball on another sport, could you have gone pro or something else, you think?
I think football, and suck at baseball. Probably football.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd have been a nice little receiver. I would have to put a shit ton of weight on, but I could have been a cool, 6'6". I don't
Oh,
want
for
to say
sure.
Calvin Johnson, but I would have been for sure a threat because of my
I mean,
athletic ability and just
you
I
would have
still
been
have
Randy
enough
Moss and folks. You would have been jumping
man,
over them and
bro.
grabbing the ball out of the air.
Just jumping. Yeah,
Yeah.
you got to put 3 people on me.
Yeah.
Did you play football in high school too, or was it always just one sport focus?
I stopped playing. I stopped playing football in ninth grade. I ended up tearing my meniscus, but like, yeah, I love football just because it was intense. It was fun. I felt like it was something I could have been really good at. It's just I was fucking skinny as hell, and I used to get hurt all the time. So after a while, I was like, yeah, high school was a little too much. I'm just gonna stick with ball. But I think if I would have took football serious, definitely could have gone to college, maybe to the pros.
You know, I always wanted to ask this to an NBA player, and we had a couple on here before, but I never got around to doing it. But I wanted to ask you, like, you grow up to get to the level that you're at now. You're playing basketball all the time, right? And when you're a kid, you love it. When you're in high school, I'm sure you love it. College, it starts to get more like feel more professional, more like you got to really, really put your body into it. And the NBA is obviously a job. Was there ever a point in your career where like basketball just was no longer fun for you, where you were just like, do I even want to do this anymore?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna be a bug with you. It got like that. I think probably really early on in my career, where around like maybe I think where probably my first contract negotiations, I start to realize like, oh goddamn, like this is. It's like this ain't just fun no more. It's like this is your whole livelihood that you playing with. Like, and if you not having that same joy, it can make it tough to go out there and kind of produce. But bro, it's a grind. I think early on it was just I don't think people understand like how much of a grind this is. Like for me, college, everything up until college was pretty easy, and then when I got here, it was like, oh damn, like
Yeah.
this is a whole. Like, you're not playing with kids no more. You're playing with grown men who've been doing this their whole life, and this is a job. Like it's a cutthroat business. Probably early on, I realized like, yeah, this ain't the same love I have for it. Like I love the game. Don't get me wrong. I love to compete. But nah, it ain't the same. Like I can just go home and relax afterwards. Like every day is like
Yeah.
you gotta be focused, or you're gonna fall off.
And on top of that, on top of having to put the work in all the time, I feel like, a lot of players, where you came from, Terrence, you were the best player probably anyone's ever seen. Then you get higher and higher levels, and that shine, that light fades a little bit. You know what I mean? So when you get to the NBA, and then now you coming off the bench, at points in your career, and you're playing 15 minutes a game, and you're expected to be productive,
No, and that's the thing. Like it's everybody getting up to the league to some point is a man on the team in college or in high school where you're the go-to guy. And I think especially like when people start working out and they trying to expand their bag, everybody's working to be like the go-to scorer, the man on their team, the guy that's going to take the last shot. Like there are only a handful of guys in the league right now who can just do that on every team. So like
Right.
for me, I had to like switch my mentality to be like, all right, well, I got to figure out other ways to be on the court and how to like be effective. So for me, it just like turned into okay, what does my team need me to do, and I build my summer around like what my role is. So it's like when I go into that role next year, I'm sharp. I'm doing what I need to do, and yeah, there's always times you expand your game, but like, why would you ever want to expand your game knowing that like, okay, we got $150 million payroll or a dude on the payroll that's making 50 mil a year and they're expecting him to do A, B, and C. Like you have to know your role. And I feel like sometimes guys will kind of, get out of their, not in their comfort zone, but they try to do too much. And then when they don't have the role that they think they should, then it's a mental game. And they're just kind of like, man, I'm out of here, whatever.
Yeah.
So it's tricky, bro. Like the league is different. I think there's so many young dudes coming to the league right now. And like I said, like they've always been the best player. They've always been the best dude around. And it's kind of like, all right, now you're not the best player. Like you're either going to be the best player or you're going to figure out where you fit in. And it's a tricky game. I just seen so many young dudes come around and they just like, well, I was just playing just because I wanted to get here. And then you realize like, oh, this is a business. Like it's not sweet how you thought it was. Like if you ain't working, if you ain't getting better, like it's a cold world. So yeah, that's pretty much how my whole feel on it from
Yeah, no, I feel
three,
that. I feel
bro.
that there's like a lot of young players out there. I can only imagine that there's a
Yeah,
lot of young players out there whose career was cut short due to their own ego. Feel me?
yeah.
Yeah.
All Americans, McDonald's All American, all that shit.
The NBA is a cutthroat league. Some would say, most would say, the best league in the world. Except, did you see Noah Lyles, the track star for Team USA? The world champions are what?
United
What?
States?
So what did you make of him saying this and then the pushback getting roasted by the entire NBA?
It's a U.S. based league for sure.
Yeah.
But
So
he's competing for the Olympics. I get it. And you're talking about it's a world championship. Okay, but I feel like the Olympics are here, like competitively. Not to say that it doesn't matter. Like people love the Olympics, but it's here. NBA talent level here. Like there's not even the best players from some countries are not playing in the NBA. So it's like, yeah, for sure. I just think that the Larry O'Brien holds so much more weight than the like Olympics gold medal. Not to say that it doesn't mean anything in terms of like pride in your country, you know, being, you know, a sportsman. But like, bro, it's a whole nother level. Like the best dudes from the world are playing in one league.
Yeah.
And who cares if they call it a world championship? You can call it whatever type of championship you want. You could call it the freaking championships of Texas.
what?
Yeah, the
It's
universe, whatever
better.
the fuck.
Yeah, it's better than what you're competing for right now. So I just think he just kind of a little out of his depth. Didn't really understand what he was saying. But shout out to him, bro. I hope he gets some medal.
Shout out. What's funny is he said the worst. I got to wake up in the worst thing. I'm like, there's a lot of worse things going on than you.
The worst thing I got to deal with as an athlete is this.
It's like one of the
what?
most minor
Yeah.
things I've ever heard about in my life.
Nah, I mean,
Yeah,
I think it's just silly because when you look, like, let's look at the FIBA World Cup, right? We go team by team, country by country. The best player on every single one of those teams is an NBA player, right? The top 3 to 5 players on every single one of these teams are NBA or fringe NBA guys.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So just because it takes place in the United States, right? It's still the world's best, all competing in one league. It just happens to be in the U.S. in the same way that like Premier League in London that has everybody all over the world. You know, is that a world championship? Who knows? I don't know.
He could have said, "Hey, I respect and understand what they're talking about, but at the end of that, just call it something else," and everybody would be like, "Oh, okay, that's no news."
Yeah. He came for the NBA players.
His delivery opened himself up to get bodied.
Yeah.
Because it was just really funny. As Drake said, it did look like he practiced it the night before.
Oh, he was mad. There's somebody in the NBA did something to that kid, and
What?
this was
Yeah,
his
probably.
I also thought that was Jonathan Kuminga when I first saw that clip.
They do kind of look alike
Yeah,
a little
I didn't
bit.
know what he looked like.
But yeah, nah. I mean, I wish that guy the best, but that was just a kind of a silly moment. Evan Fournier agrees with him though, but who cares?
bro. Me and Evan get into the worst
Oh, I forgot.
arguments about so much shit. Like
Magic sharpshooters, bro.
For sure. But yeah, fuck what Evan talking about. Let that shit get to the wayside. He's wrong. He knows it.
Yeah.
He's just-
Evan's been in a deep, dark depression talking about coming off the bench for the Knicks.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, yeah. He was a
I mean,
Superman.
it's just a fit thing. It's not
Goku.
that Evan's bad. Terrence, you know, Evan Fournier is not bad at basketball.
Not
It's
at
just a
all.
fit thing. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
Tom Thibodeau, bro. He
Yeah.
likes his guys. If you're not one of his guys,
Yeah.
don't expect to play.
Not a French dude that doesn't play defense. That is the opposite of Thibodeau.
That is very opposite of Thibodeau.
Doesn't want it. He'd rather bring D Rose back, or had D Rose, but he'd rather play D Rose over anybody that he doesn't know.
I mean, like halfway through the season, like, you know, I'm a big Knicks fan, so I pay attention. But halfway through the season, it like took the entire fan base clamoring on Twitter for him to even just play the young guys on the team. You know what I mean? He wasn't even playing Quentin Grimes, and he wasn't playing quickly and Toppin enough. Now Toppin's gone, and it breaks my heart a little bit. But we love Julius. But it's just, you know, right now with Evan, it's just a fit thing, and the Knicks right now they're trying to figure out that identity so that we don't go back to being terrible again. That's what the Knicks just don't want to do right now.
Yeah, that's Tibbs. He's gonna play the same guys every single night, all 48, and that's just who he is.
Now let me ask you a question. Now, Kat, he's Karl Anthony Towns. He's a friend of the show. He really is. But I want you to know. I want to know some of your thoughts on his levels of voices that we've been able to see.
That's
on
when
the
he
internet.
hit us up, sending us one of those videos.
Yeah, I
One of our
know.
first
Yeah.
interactions. Said, "Go get him."
Yeah. Yeah, it varies, man. I didn't heard him in a couple different tones and pitches. Don't know why he does it. I don't know what it is. I really don't know.
He playing for DR now. He's gonna pull up like, "Que lo que? Mira, Bobby."
He's gonna get hired. And he's not gonna be speaking English all the time for sure. But I don't know, bro. It's like, what the hell? Like, does he? Do y'all ever ask him about it? Like,
we haven't had him on. When he does come on, I would ask. I
we're
do
gonna
understand in a way because when we make content, we use different voices for different sort of scenarios. But if I was in the NBA, I would probably be a little more consistent.
I don't know, man, because my voice changes too. Like sometimes it's super deep, and sometimes when I'm excited, it gets a little higher.
Not like him,
so
though.
I'm not trying to clown him too hard, but it is pretty funny the differences.
is he
in
doing
tones.
that deep voice on purpose? Though?
That's where I'm just like, all right, come on, Cat. Like, just talk
100%.
how you talk.
100%.
Yeah.
It's the same way Jaylen Brown will tell Taylor Rooks.
Let's go get him.
Taylor Rooks, our coworker, that they're going to win 5 in a row. It's the same reason. Just trying to flex.
Yeah, but you know what? Another good brother Drake, he does the same shit with his voice. Early on in his career, he was up and down always. I can only imagine how he talks to women.
But here's the only thing that gets him out of that though, right? He sings. Like he sings, he raps. Sure, okay, maybe you got a song you're working on, you gotta be in pitch, you gotta be in tune, whatever.
Yeah.
Cat is like you're 7 foot with a 20 foot or 22-inch like size shoe. You can't sound like Minnie Mouse, bro. You gotta sound like, you gotta look the part. You gotta be like, yeah, bro, like do that all the time.
Yeah, just pull it out.
Well, Drake's an artist too. Carl Towns is far from an artist, so it's more acceptable when Drake. Although it's crazy to me, he gets away with it. He raps in a UK accent. He raps in Jamaican. This dude is Canadian and Jewish. Where's the Jamaican accent coming from?
Yeah, I have no idea. His travels.
I heard you say before you could beat anyone in the history of the game one-on-one. Do you still believe this to be true?
Yes. If I get the ball first, yes.
And make it take it?
Yeah.
How are you so confident in your abilities?
Because I can shoot. And I can make tough shots. Like, in one-on-one, like, not going to do a whole bunch of dribble. I'm just going to shoot over you.
Yeah. So would you bet 100 bands that you could score 100 points in a junior varsity game?
Oh, easily. Yeah. Easily. That was 8-minute quarters?
32. It's not 32 minutes. It's not.
I feel like that. Like for someone like him though, like he's lights out shooter. Like that's
and
look, easy to pull
these are mid range. These are mid range threes we're talking about.
That's true. Right.
This is you just give me the ball. Nobody else is gonna shoot. Nobody's touching the ball. Just give me the rock and I'm pulling up from just elbow threes every day.
I asked John Morant that same exact question at All-Star Weekend. He said it was very disrespectful. Do you agree?
I mean, for Ja, he's killing right now. Yeah, he'll probably do something crazy. He'll probably foul everybody out on the other team. But not for sure. He put up 115 off of just layups and dunks, fast breaks, free throws.
Especially with the brought in 3-point line. You can pull up from anywhere, and you good.
You know, all his goons standing courtside. Nobody's gonna want to try to check that dude, bro.
Yeah.
That was one of my ideas to boost up All-Star Weekend. Have 10 NBA players each playing their own junior varsity game, and whoever scores the most points is declared your winner. I feel like people would watch that.
We would definitely watch that.
So with that said, I have some more ideas for NBA All-Star Weekend. If you could just react, tell me if it's a good idea. Don't be afraid to just shit on it if you don't like it.
Got it.
Okay? So first up, this is for the dunk contest. I feel like every dunk contest needs a Mac McClung or a Brent Berry, a.k.a. a white boy. It's fun to have a white guy in the dunk contest. But I do believe they need to earn their shot first. So let's assemble a 4-player bracket of only white boys held in the Hoosier Stadium in Indiana, judged by Mark Madsen, Mike Pence, and Guy Fieri. Do you like this? 4 white boys for 1 representative every year.
Oh, Jesus. I hate it. I hate it. Why Mike Pence, Mark Madsen judging a basketball dunk contest?
Well, I'm just trying to make it as authentically white as possible.
Yo.
Oof.
Well, that's fine. That's fine. You're out on that one. That's okay.
Yeah, that one, I'm not feeling that one too much. I mean, we're going to see, they're going to be like going up there and like doing clap layups. A lot of these motherfuckers.
Slapping the backboard.
Right, this is a way to get players to shoot better from the line. Let's gather the 10 worst free throw shooters in the league statistically. Before the dunk contest, have them line up and shoot in a single file line. If you make it, you're out, you're safe, you sit on the bench. If you miss, you stay. The last one left is immediately relegated to the Sioux Falls Skyforce for a mandatory 48 minutes at point guard, no matter what position they play.
I'll fuck with this one.
And you're talking about the worst free throw shooters.
You gather the 10 worst statistically free throw shooters in the league.
Yeah.
And the one to make it last?
The last one.
Or are you talking about the first one? What? How do you get sent to Sioux Falls?
Whoever. What is? How do I say?
No. So like, if 10 people shooting it and you make one,
you're safe.
If you make one, you sit. So the last 2 people to not make one, if one person makes it, that last one's standing who hasn't made a free throw yet. has to go to the G League for
The
48
only
minutes.
problem with this is you're trying to get the worst free throw shooters to make a shot. We don't have that much time. Like everybody, you'll be 20 minutes and only one guy's made a free throw. That's how we're going. No, that would take too long.
It would take a while. But I got Andre Drummond putting up a triple-double for Sioux
You got
Falls.
Drummond?
Yeah.
I might have Nico Claxton. He keeps his legs like 8 feet apart
I
on the line.
forgot Nico Claxton is a new up-and-coming shitty free throw shooter. You're right about
What's your
that.
free throw percentage?
Yeah, I would say low 80s, high 70s. I don't know.
Here's another annual event. This one I do have a lot of faith in. So NBA players pitch themselves as the one to knock out Jake Paul. They run a campaign and they're voted on by their peers. Whoever is selected gets paid a max salary for 1 year to prepare with the world's greatest trainers. So they're not in the NBA, they're just preparing for a fight. The fight is held every year at All-Star Weekend, ex-athlete versus Jake Paul, and then they reveal who will be fighting for the next year at the same time.
So every year they're fighting Jake Paul?
So every year we're just
Every
putting
year.
Jake Paul through the ringer.
Yes. And we're getting a representative.
I mean, he's 1-0 against
There's a
NBA players so
campaign,
far.
there's
But
an election,
yeah.
there's training, they get rich.
Yeah, I could see it, but I would feel bad for when Jake Paul comes up against a 7-footer because that's going to be rough for him.
What happens when he has to fight Rudy Gobert or Isaiah Stewart or
I have Jake Paul over Rudy Gobert.
Yeah, my son Rudy Gobert barely made Kyle Anderson move. I don't know.
I don't know, man. I think we would have a few guys that be able to.
Who would you want to nominate?
Dame Lillard, because he actually boxes. DeMar DeRozan. Who's somebody else on that spars? Rudy Gay. I know he spars. He has hands.
Yeah.
I don't know, bro. I think there's a lot of guys who box in the offseason who could get with Jake. But at the top of that list, Damian Lillard.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if the Blazers keep him, that might be a good career change, Dame. Think about it.
How about this? Dame, you beat Jake Paul. We'll send you to Miami first thing in the morning.
Oh, that's better. That's better.
That is what we need.
So NBA players can come up with their own very tough challenge, and if they fulfill it, they get
Trade
traded
wherever they
wherever
want.
they wanted to be.
I actually really
I like that a lot.
I really like that. That's good.
Oof.
Adam Silver, pay attention.
This one might be more of an off-season thing, but those moments always go viral at Team USA where they're playing like 1 to 3 dribble one-on-one. So just a one-on-one
yeah.
tournament, but it's kept very casual, minimal effort, and it would just be players getting buckets after buckets.
I mean, that would be fun to watch. But we see that all the time. We get footage from their practice now, so people have seen that.
True, but an all-star event could be cool
Yeah, if they really like.
because they don't need to. It's
It wouldn't be as laid back though. They'd be putting on
True.
for the fans.
but they could try without having to try as much.
Yeah.
First to 3, 2 dribbles. Yeah, you get the most out of them with that.
Who do you think wins that? Because I think it's KD, and I don't know if it's close.
Kyrie.
Oh yeah. He'll do it.
2
And he can
dribbles.
score it with a-
Kyrie could he could probably get to the hoop and fade over you or whatever else he wanted to do.
Yeah, I mean they're both cheat codes because KD will shoot over you, and no one can stay in front of Kyrie. So
Absolutely, for sure.
I wanted to talk a little bit about your college experience, right? You went to
Yeah.
UW, Washington, right?
Yeah.
Why is Washington perhaps maybe the most forgettable powerhouse in the nation?
I don't know, man. That's a good question. I don't know. We put out a lot. It's like we have a lot of good guards that come out of that school.
Yeah.
A lot of good ones, a lot of good twos. And I just feel like, for whatever reason, the players are good, but the teams don't really do as well. Like, you don't ever really see too many UW teams going to the Elite Eight or to the Final Four. Like, granted, it has happened in the past, but, like, I feel like, you see Duke making deep runs in the tournament every year. You see Kentucky go. You see, like, all these teams go. I think if they went to the tournament and had better success, it would be an even bigger powerhouse because we had the talent, man. We've had, top 3 picks. We've had number 1. No, not number 1.
Yeah,
top
Markelle
3 picks. Oh, Markelle. Yeah, Markelle's number 1. But it's a good basketball school, man. And even more so, just a better basketball city. Like Seattle has a ton of pros. So I don't know. I just have to do better in the tournament, and that'll probably change it around.
Yeah, a few Cinderella runs into the tournament all the way to the Elite Eight, Final Four. I think that you guys will be back on the map. Last time I saw y'all won it was in The Sixth Man. You remember that movie from way back in the day? You ever seen it?
Yeah. That was my favorite movie growing up.
Yeah,
bro.
that's one of the best movies right there. When his brother came from behind the grave to help y'all win it, beautiful thing.
Nah, because when I was researching this, there were a lot of NBA players from Washington. I was surprised.
ton of them.
When you were at school, who was the best player you faced?
I played with Isaiah Thomas. So he was, to me, one of the best college basketball players like I've ever seen. Like he was just had the willpower to just do whatever he wanted. But I would say Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson was probably the best college player I went up against. He gave us 45 in the conference tournament, and like 45 in college is you might as well score 60. Like it was bad. And there was nothing we could do. You know, he just shoots from everywhere, and everything was switched.
So you saw the potential. You saw the signs early.
Yeah, early on, easy. I mean, he's 6'6", and he could shoot and he could score. Like, you know him. He doesn't need a dribble to get 50 points. Like he just can catch, shoot, regardless of where you are, and you know he just shoots at an elite clip. And there's nothing we had for him that day. I mean, thank God we beat him that game, but he still put up 45 relatively easy.
Is there a player that you faced in college that you thought was going to be incredible and didn't necessarily pan out the way you had envisioned?
Yeah, Derek Williams.
Ooh, he was so nice.
Yo.
Because he won number two? Number two?
Minnesota.
Yeah, I thought he was going to be, prototype. I thought he was just going to do what he did in college in the league. He had size, athleticism. He could score. He played defense. So, I mean, it's just one of those things where being a tweener can get you killed. So, hey, he was right between the 4 and the 5 at a time where, we had 4s and 5s and they're two different positions. So, I really thought he was going to be the man.
I mean, he had a stint with the Knicks where I was kind of hyped to get him because I thought he was like unfulfilled potential, and he wasn't like horrible, but it just seemed that it didn't translate, as well as it could.
Yeah.
If the Knicks get a free agent, just know their potential will not be filled on our roster.
No,
except for Jalen Brunson.
True.
Salute.
True.
Yes, but yo, look, for our fans back home who may not know or believe that too many elite basketball players have come out of Washington, I want you to blind rank some of these Huskies that have played in Washington over the years, all right?
So we got 8 names. 8 names. Just keep
8
that in
names
mind.
down the list. We're going to start with you, T. Ross. Where are you putting yourself on that list?
10. 8. Sorry.
You putting yourself at 8?
8.
Humble King. We love it. Next up, Brandon Roy.
1.
Ooh.
1.
Okay, we got 1 and 8 already. Here we go. Isaiah Thomas. You just talked about the good brother. Undersized, but heart over height.
2.
Okay.
2.
Former number 1 overall pick, Markelle Fultz.
6.
All right.
If he would have stayed longer. Everybody else did more than 2 years.
Yeah, because he had crazy numbers there. I think he had like 25, 5 and 5?
Yeah, in 1 year. So if he would have stayed just for 2 years, he'd have been probably top 30.
Okay, all right. Nate Robinson, former Knick legend.
And a football player, too,
Yeah.
at Washington.
3-time dunk champ.
5. 5.
Atlanta Hawks point guard or shooting guard. I think him and Trae Young share it. DeJounte Murray.
4.
4. 2 more. Matisse Thybulle.
7. I go to 7. He go to 8.
Yeah, I was about to say. I was about to say. You being a little too humble now.
No,
and then finally, Detlef Schrempf from way back, the OG.
There's a spot open top 3, right? Is
Yeah,
he
top 3.
Yeah.
He's top 3.
I had no idea he even went to Washington.
Detlef Schrempf, the German. Yep. The original Franz Wagner. Hell yeah.
Well, I feel like you killed that.
For sure, bro. I know my legends.
Here, let's recap. Let's recap this list.
Ahead,
See if you like how it all panned out. Brandon Roy, number 1. IT, number 2. Detlef Schrempf, number 3. Dejounte Murray, number 4. Nate Robb, 5. Markelle Fultz, 6. Terrence Ross, 7. Matisse Thybulle, number 8. That sound good?
Switch Nate Robb and DeJounte around.
I like that.
Yeah, I like that too. Nate's done a lot. DeJounte, maybe when it's all said and done.
I like what he was getting into last offseason.
That's what I'm saying. He'll be nice.
I like when he was getting into it with those randoms at the Seattle Pro-Am.
Oh, and Paolo?
Oh, bro.
The beef with Paolo?
I forgot about that.
The beef with Paolo is crazy.
I don't understand why DeJounte did any of that.
I don't know how you beef with a rookie before he's played an NBA minute.
Because they know each other, man. Like, that's the thing about Seattle. Everybody in Seattle, all those guys, like Brandon Royce from Seattle, Nate Ross from Seattle, Isaiah's from Tacoma. He's 30 minutes away. Like, all those guys are from there. They grew up with each other. So, like, I don't think it's he was beefing with him as much he was just like,
Talking
hazing him
shit.
more
Yeah,
so.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like that's your little homie. Like he knows him from when Paulo was a kid. So like they have history. So it was one of them type of things. So it's just don't know why he did it that way still, but I don't know, bro. Seattle dudes are different.
I mean, it was the first time that people were talking about DeJounte Murray, so good for him. It's good. San Antonio, you can get kind of not spoken about. You could be nice and not be spoken about unless you're Tim Duncan. But, he had to put himself out there. I respect it. I wanted him to be a Knick, but, whatever.
You played on those Magic teams before going to Phoenix. A lot of young players. Who has the most potential to you? Franz is crazy nice. We're pretty cool with Cole Anthony. Paolo?
Bro, to me, he's gonna be a Hall of Famer.
Ooh.
Oh.
He is nice. He is 19, and you would never know by the way he approaches the game, and the way he plays. He is nice, bro. He doesn't get talked about enough, and that's probably because he's in Orlando. But that kid, bro, is going to get better and better and better. And I think, and he has the potential to be like one of the best players, like the best player in the league in his prime. Like he's nice.
Are people not talking about him potentially being better than a Victor Wembanyama? Could you see that being the case for a career arc?
Yeah. It's just like I like what Wemby does, but I think so many people are putting so much of their expectations on him that he might just be like, yeah, I'm really good, and I just want to play my game and have fun and be me and have everything nice and easy. But like, I don't know. It's just you can see that dog in certain players, and I'm not saying that he doesn't have that dog, but like it's like we ain't really seen it yet. We just seen him killing because he's 7'5" with handles and jump shot and athleticism.
Right.
And there's a difference between having that and dog. And to me, Paulo has like that and the dog to be better than everybody. So I mean, we'll see how it goes.
Also, not for nothing, like from what we've seen in the history of the league, most dudes who are built like Wemby, struggle with staying healthy. That's just the pattern. You know what I mean? And Paolo, what's he, like 6'9", 245? Like, he's solid. You know what I mean?
6'10", like
6'10"?
210. He's 6'10", maybe like 260, 250, He's a tank, bro.
Yeah. So I believe in Paolo a lot too. I do like Franz a lot though. I like that you brought him
Franz
up.
is nice.
Franz is nice.
What about over under 1/2 All-Star games for Cole Anthony? That's a future Knick if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, he'll be.
If he gets one, he'll get two. If he gets one, he'll get two. And for sure, I can see that kid going to the Knicks. Absolutely 100%.
It's home. We asked him straight up when we hung out with him, and he said that, without putting too much out there, he wants to stay in Orlando for the time being, but that later in his career, that's definitely, a chapter that he wants to open up.
If he can get the opportunity, bro, I think that'll work out. Just think about Cole's personality and think about New York. He would have Cole Anthony after he scores 35 points in a playoff game for New York and says some crazy goofy shit after the game. He would set New York on fire with the way his personality is. Like, he's a true New Yorker, so like I would love to see him do that and then have success. But right now he's young, but when he gets that chance, I think he'll be out there.
In the same way that us New Yorkers like loved Obi Toppin, you know what I mean? Because he was from here, he has that history. The little picture of him as a kid with the Spreewell jersey on. Cole Anthony, same thing. Grew up here. Pops played for the Knicks. Him coming here, I think, would just be big time. We would welcome him open arms.
That'd be dope.
He'd be JB's backup, though. Respectfully, Cole.
It's funny because after we shot with him, I watched a few more Magic games. I've never seen him pass.
Hey, Cole is a shooting guard, but he's really short.
Right.
Everything he does is like if he was 6'7", oh my god, he dunks, he shoots, he crosses guys, like he'd be a monster. But he's just
It's true. He's so normal and so cool and funny. I'm like this. I went to a clinic with him the other week, and me and my girl were like, "It's funny this guy's in the NBA and just like mad fucking normal." But that's what we've come. That's how we've met everybody. Feels the same way to me. He's just normal size
for sure.
Yeah, the moment we started meeting more people who play in the NBA, play pro sports, y'all are just normal ass.
This is something.
Like,
this is something I asked him, and I'm wondering what you would think. Maybe you're at different stages of your career. I asked him and JJ Redick, would you go to Saudi Arabia for 1 year, like all these soccer players, for $500 million at the peak of your career?
500 million.
500 million.
Cole said yes in a heartbeat. JJ said no in a heartbeat, with a lot of explanation, of course.
I would say no, just because of I'm not a kid. I understand what that means for the NBA. Like, because where does it stop? You give the best player 500 million, then you got both All-Star teams, East and West, in Saudi Arabia in 3 years flat. So it's like
facts.
Where does it happen? So like for that reason alone, the game is always going to be bigger than yourself. So no, I'm staying true. I'm not going out there. Maybe this is towards the end. Yeah, for sure, easy.
Okay, but not at the peak though.
No, I can't do that at the peak.
Okay.
That'll just fuck everything up.
Damn, you loyal.
Until that $500 million
bro.
contract sit in front of you, I don't think anybody knows what they really
I need to
do.
get on a line. I don't know.
It's fun. I am past my prime, so I am
right
cool
now
with
you're-
that.
Now you take that shit.
Send it.
Well, look, let me test you real quick on some of your basketball history that you're involved in. Can you name the 7 players selected ahead of you in the 2012 NBA draft?
Who is number 1? Anthony Davis.
Yes, sir. Number 1.
Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, Bradley Beal, Deion Waiters. Who is 5?
This is the big
This
who.
is the big one. This was someone I would say who to.
It's Sacramento.
Oh, T-Rob.
Yeah, there you go. I love you knew exactly what you're talking about.
For sure.
Yeah.
Damian Lillard, Harrison Barnes.
Boom.
Wow. Quick. Nah, he's nice with the quizzes. I just realized. You must watch our content. You knew this was coming.
Bro, I study y'all, bro. I don't know it.
If you were drafted in 2023 with the same skill set, I know you went 8th, which is stupid high. Do you think you would have been drafted even higher knowing how important 3-point shooting is?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I would say still top 10. Still top 10 easy. Because if you can shoot threes and you're athletic, like that's they cream over that, bro.
Yeah.
They're gonna take that no matter what. I mean, they're always up for that. So yeah, I've been still top 10.
Do you regret your NBA draft suit? Would you have gone with a different fit? Or are you proud of it?
Actually, I think I got best dressed that night because I rocked the bow tie. But I would have kept it. I'd have kept it.
Just on the verge of getting into like super fitted, super tailored stuff.
Yeah,
It's right
for
in
sure,
between.
for sure.
I don't say bad at all.
It ain't bad. It wasn't.
bad at
Nobody
all.
really wowed. It was
It's like,
2012. Nobody really had style.
That early Kanye era. Right?
The swag.
It's like the
era?
end of that early. It was the end of that.
The end of that.
contact,
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
Nice. So going back to what you were saying about studying our content, and we talked about it off camera, I'm wondering how the NBA locker rooms react to like an RDC of the world making fun of them, or by some miracle, maybe us.
Yeah.
Trust me, bro. I have sent many guys their videos when it comes to you guys. I am quick to do that. That's a good day if I know one of my teammates is getting johned on by y'all too. Like we're bringing it up and we're all talking about it, and we're gonna probably make it last for a couple weeks and then
Damn.
let it pass.
That's really cool to hear. I fuck
dope.
with
And
that.
that's funny
a lot.
because maybe you sent it to DeMar DeRozan because that All-Star game, he didn't even answer my question. He just said, I love watching your videos. Like, I see you all the time. And
I did, yeah.
I gave him a really weak dap and kept it moving. So,
DeMar is a man of few words.
do you like coming to play in New York?
I love it. New York is playing in the Garden is probably my favorite place to play.
Now, is this true? It seems to me that whenever someone comes into New York, they have a career high. Are people... Like, I feel like people aren't afraid to play in the Garden. They're just more excited. Like, the crowd isn't that scary. They're just hyped to put on a show. Would you say that's the case?
Yeah, because you get that too. Like, New York is different. The atmosphere in New York is different. It's like the Garden is very like small and intimate. And when you're there, the one thing I noticed between like the fans in New York and anywhere else is when the game's going on, they're watching the game. It's quiet when the game's going on. Like you can hear the ball bounce. You can hear the players on the court talking. And then, of course, when they score, they go crazy. But, like, when you go to other places, it's like people are coming to, just to get out of the house or they're going to do something. They're, like, just going out to have fun. Yeah, it's
Miami.
LA. Yeah, these are the for real.
Sure. But New York, more than anybody, like, they are locked into the game and they'll let you know, like, when you're not performing to the best of your abilities. And I think, in a way, it's kind of one of the things that probably deters a lot of good players from going there because they know if they have an off night, they're going to hear about it. And they're not trying to be stressed out as much. Because the highs are high, but the lows are brutal, bro. You guys will wear trash bags and brown paper bags over your head to the game with the jersey on still. And it's just like, what, I don't know what y'all making me feel like shit. So
bro, I'm a diehard Knick fan, but even I can't co-sign some of the shit that Knick fans be doing. You know what I mean? Because like that shit with Trae Young from way back. Remember when somebody like spit towards him? That out of pocket. That was completely wrong. Then last year at the end of the playoffs,
They took down the poster.
when they tore down Julius's poster and was stomping it out in the middle of the street. Like, bro, he was an all-star this year.
New York. you two are saying this because you know these guys.
Yeah.
If you guys didn't know these guys, you'd be right there tearing shit down, lighting shit on fire, spitting on this. Like, you'd be pissed.
I mean,
maybe in my younger days, I've tempered a little bit.
the Julius Randle jumping, I might have. That's okay. He got to learn a lesson somehow.
Ah, bro, I love you. Wait, did you?
I didn't say anything. No, I'm more typical than him. I love negativity. He loves being positive.
Because I have to be, bro. 20 years of losing. I gotta be a little positive. I gotta try.
And I have a question as an NBA insider / player. Did you hear any rumblings about? Because I feel like KD and Kyrie were about to go to the Garden and something happened. Can you confirm or deny this?
No, I'm not even sure. No, I know New York. They'll find a way to fumble a bag, but now you guys just have bad luck. I don't know what it is. I don't know what's happening, but you guys just have horrible luck.
I know when they tried to get LeBron and Wade, I know James Dolan literally played them his acoustic guitar and sang, and it fucked up the whole process. I feel like something happened. I don't know what it was, but why in the world they would go to Brooklyn is beyond me.
I don't know. I think that's why I think them going to Brooklyn feels like to me like they were gonna be in New York, and then they were like, nah, you know what? Fuck the Knicks. Let's go to Brooklyn too and really give it to the fan base or some shit like that. I don't know.
But it's a blessing in disguise because how mad would you be knowing their history and their track record if they come to New York and just drop an atomic bomb and take all your draft picks, your whole future, and then bounce in 2 years? You guys will be singing a very different tune.
True,
no, 100%.
But we've done that for a lot worse players as well.
Yeah, but bro, if we would have gotten,
that's why it's so easy to get over, though.
Facts.
If we would have got exactly what the Nets got from KD and Kyrie on the Knicks, we would have all been really, really pissed off. Way more than nobody cared. Nets fans don't care about the Nets. Keep it a buck. But Knicks fans, the way we care about our teams, bro, it would have been crazy. It would have been like a scene in the streets outside the Garden, calling for KD, Kyrie, James Dolan, whoever. It would have been a problem. But again, that's just Knicks fans being Knicks fans. I can co-sign some of their actions, but not all of it. But right now we're in a better place. So whatever y'all doing over there, keep doing it. But Terrence, I want to jump into some NBA quick hitters, just quick questions.
Let's go. Come on.
These are going to be super basic, super obvious. First one: Jordan or LeBron?
LeBron.
Expand on that just a little bit for me, for the fans at home.
Quick my ass. Okay, LeBron. Honestly, just because I think it's just what he's done, bro. It's hard. His whole basketball career has just been storybook. Yeah, Jordan came back and had a three-peat twice, which is incredible. We're not taking anything away from it, but bro, if you can get LeBron on your team, you're gonna win a championship.
I think once he's retired, it's undeniable. But right now, because he's still playing, they're gonna still talk shit.
So and I think the other two that kind of holds back Jordan is when he came back to play with the Wizards, he was really good for a 38, 49-year-old, whatever, however he was. But I think LeBron is so much better at his later age than Jordan was, skill wise,
health wise.
Jordan to me stopped being elite when he won his last championship in Utah, and that was he was 34, 35, 36.
Yeah.
So I mean, he just wasn't, and you could tell that was the end of it. But LeBron, bro, is still out here trying to reverse windmill in playoff games and just doing stuff that we haven't seen before. So to me, I guess I'm just a little biased that way. I'm just gonna always lean towards LeBron now.
My one counter to that is if Jordan took care of his body the same way LeBron does and didn't smoke 50 cigars a day, maybe he'd have 8 titles.
Also medical advancements as well.
And and if LeBron would have won every finals that he would have been, we could just keep going on and on. So it doesn't even matter, bro.
It's just debate. It's just a debate.
If he'd won all 10 of the finals he's been in, he'd have been the greatest player of the history of the sport.
Okay.
Easily.
All right, we could be a little bit quicker than that. Kobe or Shaq?
Kobe.
Yeah, Kobe. Me too. Love Shaq to death, but Kobe just different. He made me love basketball.
If Shaq averaged 30 points a game, that's what he needs to do to be a Hall of Fame player.
That's my issue with Shaq is that he'll look at a player and only respect someone if he would do something the same way.
Yeah,
it's bro, nobody's gonna be like you, Shaq. Literally no one.
And the one thing about Shaq, he has one MVP. As dominant as he was, great as he was, he has one MVP. So
right. You're right.
Wait, he didn't win an MVP?
He has one.
Oh, one.
He has one. Yeah,
just one.
Are you a better player than Richard Jefferson?
Close, but no. Close. No,
Whoa,
no.
okay.
I'm not even gonna say.
I respect that.
I watch basketball, bro.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
was nice. RJ was nice, bro. He was
RJ
awesome.
was
Like,
nice.
He had game. He was nice.
Yeah, because people only think about like Cavalier RJ and they forget about New
For
Jersey
sure.
Net RJ.
And that one dunk on Clay. No, but I remember him and Vince doing the dunk contest commercial with Nike.
That's a great fucking commercial.
100%.
Great.
Who is the best NBA gamer besides yourself?
Ooh, I don't know. That's hard because most guys only play sports games, or either sports games or Call of Duty. There's no in between. But I don't know. I fucking know. I don't know.
The past 3 years, have you spent more time streaming or practicing?
Oh, practicing. Practicing.
Maybe.
What do you enjoy more at this point?
64. At this point in my life, right now, gaming, streaming.
Yeah,
Oh,
keep it a
easy.
buck. For
Keep it a
sure.
buck with you. I'm not even gonna lie. Fuck it.
Best bounce in NBA history.
I'm biased. I'm gonna say Vince, but I don't know because Gerald Green.
Agreed.
Ooh.
That's 100% right. I was hoping you would say that.
We're just talking about bounce. I'm just gonna say Gerald.
Yeah, nah.
Cupcake. Blew the cupcake out.
Blew the cupcake out. Also, that when he was on the Nets, that
head
windmill
over the
alley
rim.
might be the best highlight ever. With 9 fingers, too. Impressive. Do you believe in aliens?
I do.
Me too.
And like what would they look like they do like in the stereotypical movies like Mars Attacks? Would they look like us? What do you think?
They could be as small as a freaking organism that's smaller than we can see, and it could be something that looks just like you and me. It could be, I don't know. I definitely believe that there's some sort of alien.
But we've seen shit, like, you can Google shit that we've seen in jungles and in oceans that could easily be aliens. Like, there's shit that I've seen and be like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, octopus is crazy and they're smart. But do you think there's another world with like people like us asking these same questions? Because that would be hard to believe to me.
Why not? It would be harder to believe that it's just us here asking these questions.
Matter of fact, I'm now officially convinced. You are right.
That's harder to believe. Yeah.
They could be like 100 million light years away, and it could be true. Damn, imagine all the other like streaming content and other basketball players they got. They could have someone better than LeBron or Terrence Ross out there.
Could be. Maybe
sure they
LeBron.
do.
Maybe LeBron is an alien.
I mean, he would be.
It make a lot of sense.
What conspiracy theory do you think is the most true? Besides aliens, obviously.
This sounds crazy, but probably more often, majority of them than not. It's not too much shit I won't be open-minded to. Let's put it that way. I won't believe everything. I'll question everything, but if you just start talking about conspiracy, if you argue it the right way, you could the same way, bro. You just switched. You jumped the fence.
Yeah.
Easy. It's just I don't know. If you can convince me, go ahead and try. But
So you're open to
I'm
it.
open-minded. I'm
You're
open-minded.
open-minded to all conspiracy theories because who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe
I won't
these New York City-
entertain maybe a lot of it, but I'm open-minded to at least hear it out.
Shit, maybe these pigeons in New York City are drones.
Drones. I wouldn't be. Hey,
Wouldn't be surprised.
imagine all the crazy stuff they could be doing in New York City and just by the wayside. You guys never know. Who knows?
All right.
Any questions?
Yeah, and finally we put it on our Instagram and our TikTok and everything. We got some fan questions of people who follow us who want to ask you some questions. So I'm going to run through a couple of those for you. All right. If you could pick one team in the past to play for, who would they be? Who would they be?
The 2001 Lakers.
Hell yeah.
They could have used another scorer too.
15-1. I mean, they almost damn near swept the playoffs, but yeah.
But that team for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Learn a lot from Kobe. When you dropped 50 and lost, was your mind on your performance or the team's?
Mine.
Keep it a buck, right? Gotta be
Yeah,
Yeah,
honest.
keep it about. Well, I'm thinking about the loss. I just scored 50.
Yeah.
Scored 50.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, for sure.
It seems like you just answered it, but I feel like some players be like, "Oh, I scored 50, but we lost. That's all that matters." To me, I would be so hyped.
Of course.
And not think about it at all. Is
Yeah.
that how you were?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I feel like even your teammates gotta respect it though, because it's not like you're like, oh, I scored 20 and we lost, like, and bragging about that.
No.
50's an accomplishment, bro. Like,
No, 50 was cool because I remember, I think DeMar had just scored like 40 like a week before. So when I got 50, I was like, oh shit, like I'm hot right now. And then I could have went for I thought that I could have had the record at that point in time, and I had a free throw to take the record by 1 point. But I thought Vince had like 54 or something. So I was like, not that I was like, oh fuck this free throw, but I was just like, wasn't too heartbroken about it at the time until I found out, like, yeah, you missed that free throw to get the franchise record. So that would have been cool. Other than that, nah, I'm just thinking about that 50.
Favorite dunk of your career? It could be a dunk contest one.
Fareed. Yeah.
Ooh, when you dunked on Fareed?
Yeah.
Put down the manimal. That was the craziest shit ever.
Yeah, that was nuts.
Yeah.
That was nuts.
That was a good time.
No, that was impressive.
When
to say
you
the least.
so when you hit that dunk, I'm sure you realized it was a 10 out of 10. But could you tell what it looked like, or do you always have to go home and watch that highlight back? Like, and does it look different then?
I didn't think it would have looked the way it came out, and it was weird too, just because the play before that he had blocked one of my teammates with like two hands, and so when the ball got turned over, he was still on the other like half of the court when I was going at him, so he kind of like waited for me, and so like when he waited for me, I just started running at him full speed, and I just took off. But yeah, the picture looks like I just dunked over the top of him, but I kind of went around him, and it I don't know, it felt different than what it looked, but it definitely was a dope ass dunk.
He was in the G League last season, actually. I think he played a full season.
Oh, yeah?
Kind of Fareed, yeah. He's still here.
Let's get it. If you could change one rule in basketball, what would it be?
Transition tape.
Oh, you're not a fan.
Don't like it.
Okay.
Check it out.
Yeah, no, I get it. It tried to fix something that, in my opinion, didn't really need to be fixed.
No, we don't need an extra possession and a free throw. Just call the foul and take it back out. Fuck it.
Agreed. What's your favorite 2K? All time.
2K14 or 2K14, right when it went from being like that weird animation to like, oh, everything looks like it's in 3D now.
Yeah,
so like,
yeah.
right during that jump was my favorite because that was like the next stage in the evolution of where it's at today.
Are you nicest with yourself in 2K because you know your game?
I don't feel like I'm as slow as they make me on the game. I'm like, where's my acceleration? Why can't I get past anybody on the first step? Like, it's so annoying. But yeah, not too bad. I'm not a little bit, not too great with myself. Not gonna lie.
And outside of 2K, what's your favorite games?
Man, I play a little bit of everything. Right now I'm playing Madden, and I'm playing a game called Escape from Tarkov. It's like this military Call of Duty style shooter, but it's top 3 games right now.
All right.
What is it about gaming that athletes, they're so competitive that they just cannot stop doing shit? They play basketball and they all just, I feel like they all game. Is that the correlation right there?
It's competing. I get the same feeling, well, pretty much the same feeling playing 2K, getting in a close game, than I do as being in a real game. Like, I'm still focused on trying to win it. Like, my hands get sweaty. I'm fucking making sure I'm not trying to fuck shit up. And if I lose it, then it's like I get that same sense of like I'm pissed off the same way I would lose a regular game. So like I think it's that aspect of just competing that makes video games so enjoyable for athletes probably.
So when you're an athlete, you can't really turn it off, I guess.
So
you can't. It's bad.
Also, what I'm hearing is we've experienced life as an NBA player.
Yeah,
So
essentially.
I've had a lot of experience playing 2K.
Yeah.
I would go as far to say I'm like a 15th man on the bench for the Sioux Falls Skyforce
Pretty much.
after the free throw shooting competition.
Hey, listen, I agree. And finally, one last question. I know that you're a free agent right now, but I just wanted to ask the man himself. The plan, continue to play NBA basketball? Are you in talks with any teams that you can talk to us about?
He's Saudi.
Is that allowed?
He's
I don't
Saudi
even
now.
know.
I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I'm on the fence right now. I'm on the fence. Like
Really?
I can continue to play basketball. I can continue to play, but I think right now I'm kind of taking a step back and kind of seeing what kind of matters to me and what's important to me.
That's fair.
And I think within the next week or so, I'll make a decision. But right now, I'm on the fence.
And we'll stay tuned for that decision.
Yes, we will. But I will be on record saying that the Phoenix Suns have no bench. So call my guy.
Between Brad, KD, and D-Book, you can't afford a bench.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess you're right. Either way, Terrence Ross, we appreciate you, bro. Thank you for taking the time to sit with us, man. This was a lot of fun. Maybe we'll do it again sometime.
Appreciate you guys, man.
Best of luck on the streams. Keep up the good 2K
Hell
work.
yeah. Hell yeah. Let me know if you want that work.
Oh, say the
Got you.
word. All
I'm
right.
probably 501 against Deuce in the past 10 years.
I'll give him that. He is much better than me at 2K.
He doesn't sound like he plays video games.
Me?
Do you?
We do.
That's why you're 501.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Yeah,
probably
that's
here
the
and there.
reason.
But I will say he's bragging about that, but you would probably give him work. So let's
I'm
be,
sure.
if we're being
Easily.
real.
Easily. Just let me know. Just let me know,
Matter
man.
of
I'm
fact,
here.
you never know.
All right, man. Thank you, Terrence. Appreciate you, bro.
Peace, Terrence. Thanks a lot.
Appreciate it.
All right, that's going to do it for this episode of the Broadcast Boys Show. We are the Broadcast Boys. We want to thank the good brother Terrence Ross of the Orlando Magic, Toronto Raptors, and NBA as a whole for sitting down and taking some time to answer some of our stupid questions. What a good dude.
Let's not forget his greatest accolade of all, Amber Rose's ex.
Oh, my God. Eureka. But yes, very, very special. Thank you, T. Ross. Thank y'all for watching. All love, top to bottom. You already know what it is. Peace.